Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for taking some time out of your schedules and being here today. Depending on where you're from, I'd like to wish you a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. The topic of today's webinar is Secure Active Directory, how to reduce the risk from your privileged users. So why this particular topic? Why do you think it's important to reduce the risk from your privileged users in Active Directory? Well, firstly, you might be aware that Active Directory is used by close to 90% of organizations around the world, and this makes it one of the most susceptible to attacks. Security experts are always speaking about new ways in which attackers are targeting Active Directory and compromising sensitive information of organizations, both big and small. This risk emanates purely from the extent to which Active Directory is used around the world. But apart from that, securing Active Directory is important because it is vulnerable at every stage of the cyber kill chain. When it comes to protecting your Active Directory, securing privileged access and reducing the risk from privileged users is the first step. After all, think about it. A privileged account is a user account that has more privileges than ordinary users. These accounts may have access to files and folders that other users may not have access to. These accounts may have permissions to do certain activities that nobody else can do. So you need to follow some Active Directory best practices to make sure that you're securing your privileged accounts. From an attacker's point of view, they're always looking to steal the credentials of your privileged users. Now, the risk doesn't always have to come from an external attacker. A privileged user within the organization with malicious intent can perpetrate an ID sabotage, insider fraud, or intellectual property theft. For these reasons, organizations need an effective and comprehensive Active Directory auditing solution that will monitor all privileged actions. Such a solution should also give timely reports and alerts to stop attackers. In this webinar, we'll go over how privileged accounts get compromised and how timely reports and alerts can stop this. Now, before I go ahead, I would like to make sure that you can all see my screen and you can also hear my voice. So if there are no technical issues, everything is fine, you can hear me well, and the slides are also visible on your screen. Could you just confirm this to me over chat, please? Just give me a good to go or yes, or everything is fine kind of a message on chat and we can get started. I'm just waiting for a few confirmations from people. And yes, I've got a few confirmations. Thank you so much, Prem. Thank you so much, Rohit, Prakash, Shane. Thank you all so very much for those confirmations. Now, during this webinar, in case the voice or picture quality gets bad at any time, please bring it to my attention using the chat window, and I'll try to fix it right then and there. Also, during this webinar, please also keep sending me your questions using the option on your screen. At the end, I'll have some time set aside for Q&A. By the way, this webinar is being recorded, and you'll receive the recording over email soon. Just give us a couple of days, we'll process the recordings and we'll be sending it over to you. So a little about myself. My name is Ram Vaidyanathan and I'm a cybersecurity analyst at ManageEngine. I've been with ManageEngine for the last 6 years now. In my role, I get to research about the latest techniques attackers are using against organizations. And I also get to learn from people like you about the ways in which organizations can stop attackers. People like you give me a lot of insight about how things are developing in the cybersecurity market, and ManageEngine as a company uses this feedback to develop our security solutions. If you'd like to get in touch with me about anything once this webinar is over, even if it's just to say hello, my email address is right there on your screen. It's ram.v@manageengine.com. I'd love to hear from you. Alternatively, you can also add me on LinkedIn. Now, sometime back, I did bring up the importance of Active Directory best practices. We've got some resources for you here that you can use as a health check in your organization. The first resource that I would like to point out to you is this particular ebook on tried and tested best practices for Active Directory security. So let me just show this page over to you. So as you can see, this is an ebook on tried and tested best practices for Active Directory security. It's a very, very light read. And we give you about 8 different real life use cases and real life examples of things that can go wrong in a company's Active Directory environment. And we also give you solutions in this particular ebook. So let me just copy paste this URL on the chat so that you can access this whenever conveniences permit. So let me just paste this URL so you can access this whenever you can. Right? And I also have one more resource that I wanted to share with you. That is this resource right here. Now, this particular one, this particular resource is actually a quiz. In this quiz, we ask you a few questions and you get to see how secure your Active Directory really is. At the end of the quiz, based on the kind of answers you give, you'll also get recommendations to improve your security. So let me just show you this page here. This is the Active Directory quiz. And you just have to take about 10 questions, and at the end of that, based on your responses, you get a score. So let me just share that with you as well, so you can access this whenever you can. So this is the Active Directory quiz. Great. So those are the resources that I wanted to share with you. And with all of that said, let's take a look at the agenda for today. The first thing we'll cover is the cyber kill chain and how attackers target specific privileged users or systems in a network in a process called reconnaissance. Here, I will demonstrate for you certain tools that attackers use to perform their research before deciding upon their target with privileged access. Next, we'll discuss how attackers escalate their privileges and traverse from low privileges to domain admin privileges. This is something called lateral movement or lateral traversal in Active Directory. After this, we'll talk about certain AD best practices that you need to adopt to secure your privileged accounts. And finally, we'll see what technical safeguards a company can deploy to secure itself. For this part of the webinar, I'll use ManageEngine AD Audit Plus to make my point. So first things first, what is the cyber kill chain? Take a look at this slide right here. The cyber kill chain is the step-by-step process by which attackers compromise a privileged account such as domain administrator. As you can see on this slide, it all starts with external reconnaissance. This is the phase in which an attacker does research about their intended victim. At this initial stage, the attacker searches publicly available sources to identify as much information as possible about their target. This will include information about the target's IP address range, business operations, employees, executives, and technologies used. The goal of this stage is to develop sufficient intelligence to increase the chances of a successful attack. So with external reconnaissance, the attacker is basically at the initial stages of the attack. They are doing their research. They are trying to find out as much information about their target as possible before actually launching that attack. So it's the research phase actually. So that's the theory of external reconnaissance. So why don't we do one thing before going ahead? Let's practically see how an attacker performs reconnaissance. After all, if you know your adversary well, you'll be able to defend yourselves better. Just one caveat here, please make sure that you don't use these tools that I'm going to show you right now for any wrong reasons. In case you don't have explicit permissions to use these techniques against an organization, please don't do it. So anyways, with that disclaimer, let's get started. So if you go over to this website called bugcrowd.com, so that's this website, this is the URL, bugcrowd.com. So here, let me just go into programs. You'll find several organizations that run programs are willing to find vulnerabilities through ethical hackers before a real attacker actually strikes the organization. One of the companies on Bugcrowd is Unilever. So let me just show that to you right now. And we're going to use Unilever as an example as we do our reconnaissance activity. So as you can see here, Unilever runs a vulnerability disclosure program on bugcrowd.com. And we'll pick on Unilever for our example right now for reconnaissance. Take a look at this. Right, so, yeah. Now, apart from bugcrowd.com, there's also a site called hunter.io that I've got open for you over here. Now, this is a site where attackers can find several legitimate email addresses and even the format of a company's email address. After collecting this information, they can then go onto a website like LinkedIn and find out more about the company and also a particular employee. They may get to know the employee's job title, responsibilities, and even private things like their reporting manager. Using all of this information, the attacker could then send a very legitimate looking phishing email with a malicious attachment. So In this particular tool called hunter.io, you can actually search for companies and you can get to know certain email addresses that have registered with this website. But even if you can't find particular employees, you can actually find the format of an email, which is going to come very much in handy if an attacker wants to send a phishing email. So that's how simple it is to actually use these tools. And one more tool that attackers could use for reconnaissance is a tool called the Harvester. So let's see the Harvester in action right now. So let me quickly open a virtual lab setup that I've got right here. Let me open this up. This is a Kali Linux machine that I've got running over here. Let me just open it up. So we're going to be doing some penetration testing right now, and we're going to see how reconnaissance actually works. So to run Harvester, you've got to go into the terminal of this particular machine and execute a code that you'll be seeing right now. So the code just goes this way: the Harvester -d. And since we're going to be using Unilever as the example, so we'll just say unilever.com -L 500-B and then Google. The code itself is not important, but what I'm trying to tell you right now here is that Harvester is a built-in tool that comes with Kali Linux. And let's see how this actually works now. And as soon as I hit enter, you can see that the Harvester has been launched. The target is obviously Unilever because that's what we've specified. And it's going to search through Google as we have specified, and it's going to search until it hits 500 results, just like we have specified over here. And take a look at this. We've hit some results right now. Take a look at these results. So you've just used Harvester to search through Google and identify certain email addresses and IP addresses. Take a look at this. Some IP addresses, and you have some email addresses here as well. This is all reconnaissance at play right here. And it's going to give a lot of information to attackers. Now, apart from Harvester, there is also another tool called Sublister that gives an attacker even more information as they do their research. So let's take a look at how Sublister works. Again, it's going to run right off of Kali Linux. It's a built-in tool. So let me just show that to you. It's called Sublister, and it's spelled with an E instead of with a 3 instead of an E. So Sublister -D unilever.com and just hit enter. And it's going to enumerate subdomains now for unilever.com. It's going to search through all of these different places. At first, you'll get an error which says VirusTool probably now is blocking our request, but hopefully very soon we are going to get some results for us. It's going to give you a lot of information about subdomains of an organization. Now, how is an attacker actually going to use this information? They will take a look at all the subdomains that seem really, really interesting. Again, this is part of reconnaissance. So let's say that one of the subdomains that attackers get to see through Sublister is something to do with a classified file or a design file. You know, all of that information is going to be available for them. Now, take a look at this. So there seems to be a subdomain called QA. You know, that's quality assurance, right? So maybe that's a very, very important subdomain that people may want to take down. Likewise, there could be other names that just give it away, and attackers may target these specific subdomains which seem very, very interesting to them as a part of their reconnaissance. Now, apart from Sublister, another place where attackers can get information about their targets is actually a website called builtwith.com. So let me just show you how this works. Again, very, very nifty tool to do reconnaissance. So I've gone into builtwith.com and we'll be looking at how this works right now. I'm just going to search for unilever.com and do a lookup. And let me just scroll down. Take a look at all of this information that comes up about Unilever. Take a look at all of this. What this is actually telling you is that you can get a lot of information about the types of technologies that are used at an organization. So you can take a look at all of the different technologies that Unilever actually uses. So if it's an attacker, they can look for vulnerabilities that are existing in these technologies in order to get that initial foothold into the company. So that's built with .com. Let me do one more thing. Let me show you one more reconnaissance tool on Kali Linux before we go ahead. So let's go back into Kali Linux. And I want to show you another tool called WhatWeb. So this is the command for powering it on. WhatWeb, HTTPS, unilever.com, and just hit enter. Now take a look at all of this information that you have at your disposal. You get information on certain IP addresses that are used by the company. You get information about certain web servers that are being used, certain applications that are being used. All of this stuff is available for you. Again, very, very critical information, very useful information rather for an attacker to use if they are doing reconnaissance and they are looking to target a particular company. All of this information is going to come in handy for them. So why don't we go over all of these things? The larger point that I'm trying to make is that it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple for attackers to get information about their victim through reconnaissance. So let's imagine that, let me go back into the presentation now. So let's imagine that an attacker identifies their intended victim after having done the reconnaissance. The victim now receives a phishing email with an attachment that looks very legitimate. For example, a phishing email could be sent to a financial analyst and made to look like it came from the company's CFO. The innocent victim then clicks on the email and a malicious tool known as a backdoor will be installed on the victim's computer, giving the attacker remote access to the victim's computer. So this is stage 2 of the attack called the compromised machine. And from here, from the compromised machine stage, what the adversaries do is something called lateral movement. So all of this is part of lateral movement that you see here. So they've got access to one machine over here. That's a compromised machine. From here, they'll move on to the next machine. And from there, they will move on to the next machine. And from there on to the next machine, and so on and so forth. They'll keep repeating this until they get to the desired system. And this desired system could be the domain administrator's machine. But you may now ask me, what is the science behind lateral movement? How does this part of the cyber kill chain actually work? How does lateral movement actually take place? How do attackers pivot from one system to the next until they get to domain administrator, for example? Well, just see this slide right here. This explains exactly what goes on in lateral movement. Every employee workstation contains a process called LSAS. LSAS, or Local Security Authority Subsystem Service. This has representations of identities that have logged into the system. The passwords of these identities are stored as hashes in the LSAS, and the attacker can use these hashes to connect to other systems using tools such as Mimikatz. So for example, assume that this is my system. This one right here, this is my system, and it's already been compromised. Now, if I log onto my system, an attacker could hijack my session and use it to look at other sessions that are simultaneously logged on. Using the information available in LSAS, the attacker can now assume the identity of a local administrator or a service account. So that is what is happening in this part of the diagram right here. And then using this identity, the attacker can then connect to another machine, ultimately reaching the machine where the domain administrator is logged on. At this point, the attacker strikes gold. They basically have the crown jewels of the organization, the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. Now, research says that an attacker takes not more than 48 hours or 2 days to go from an initial foothold, this initial step that you see here, just 2 days to go from this step to domain admin credentials. We also know on average that it takes more than 200 days or 6.5 months for a company to even discover that there is an attacker lurking in the network. So that's the theory of it. Now let's go over some Active Directory best practices that you can implement in your company for securing privileged access. The first thing that you need to do is ensure that end users don't have local administrator privileges. You've got to disable the local administrator account on all of your computers. This is a low-hanging fruit for hackers. And what makes the problem worse is that the same password is used across computers. If users have local administrator privileges, the risk of an attack becomes extremely high. For example, a rogue insider could actually veto your IT department's security measures. You also need a mechanism to detect if any user account gains local admin privileges on any machine. So that's step number one that I've got over here. Don't give end users local administrator privileges. That's one of the best practices. In an Active Directory auditing solution like AD Audit Plus, you can actually see this information. So let me just show this to you, and you'll then see how this all makes sense. So if I navigate over to Server Audit and AD Audit Plus, and here I've got a report called Local Account Management. And then underneath that, I've got a particular report called Recently Added Members to Groups. So let's just go take a look at this information right now. Let's select the objects. And let's give it a time range for the last 30 days, let's say. Just hit apply and hopefully we should get some information. Let's look at all the domains now. Yeah, we got some data to work with right now. Just take a look at this. What this report is basically telling you is that there is this particular user called Sarath, who's part of this domain. Now, what this user has done is that they have added this particular member to the domain local security group called GRP1. Now, this is obviously a very, very privileged action, and an action that as a security administrator, you probably want to take a second look at. You've got to make sure that all the users being added into local administrators, it's actually legitimate. And you've got to ascertain that something wrong is not happening. In case you don't allow this at all in your company, then this is something to be worried about. You've got to make sure that you get to the bottom of this and take corrective action right then and there. So here in this report, it tells you that there are two actions where Sarath has done this. And as an Active Directory administrator, as a security administrator, you've got to make sure that the users being added to these local groups, it's fine. But let's say that your company, in your company, you need local administrator accounts, and you've got to make sure, if that is the case, you've got to make sure that you use different passwords across your machines. Do not duplicate your systems just because you feel that you've already got the ideal configurations ready. So that's what I've got over here in point number 2. If you do this, the password also gets duplicated. Instead, you've got to use a solution called LAPS, or Local Administrator Password Solution. LAPS ensures that the administrator password is unique and constantly updated. LAPS will protect you from attacks against these privileged accounts. With AD Audit Plus, you can go one step further. So let me just show how LAPS auditing is done. So let me just open the console here for you once again. And if you go to reports, you've got a category of reports here called LAPS audit, and you've got a particular report called LAPS password read. Take a look at this report right here. So this report tells you that in the last 30 days, all the instances where your LAPS password has been read. And you can see that there are 2 instances. And as an Active Directory administrator, as a security administrator, you've got to make sure that this is okay. And someone who is not authorized to read your LAPS password is not doing so. If they are, then you've got cause for concern, and you've got to take action about it. Now, apart from getting to know about all of this information through this particular report, you can also go a little bit deeper. You can make sure that you also get alerted about it by going into the alerts tab and configuring an alert whenever your LAPS password has been read. So we'll go over alert configuration in just a moment. Then we go on to step number 3. The next action item for you is make sure that you secure and protect the Active Directory administrator account. After all, this account has ultimate privileges. You need to ensure that your administrator account is only being used for administrative tasks and not for daily tasks. Make sure that you audit the logons, both successes and failures of your administrator accounts. In case you find that this account is logging on way too often, you'll need to investigate it further. So I'll just show how you can protect your AD account through AD Audit Plus right now. So in AD Audit Plus, you've got a specific report category called user logon reports. And here you've got user logon activity. And take a look at this report as I scroll down. So here in this report, it will give you information about the user, the IP address, the host name, the time of the event, and the event type. Right here, the event type is listed over here. Whether the logon was a success or a failure. So you actually get answers to the four vital W's in this report: the who, the what, the when, and the where. This is always going to be very crucial for performing a root cause analysis. Now, when it comes to Active Directory administrator accounts, point number 4, when it comes to Active Directory administrator accounts, you can also create what's known as an administrator honeypot and secure yourself better. This is actually pretty simple to do. You know, all the instances of Active Directory have a built-in administrator account which cannot be deleted or logged out. But what you can do is rename this built-in administrator account so it stays somewhat hidden from attackers. Then what you can do is create a new administrator account that has no privileges at all. Essentially, this new administrator account that you create becomes a honeypot that attracts attackers. For this new administrator account, just monitor all the bad logons. In case there is a bad logon for this account, you immediately know that something is not right. So let me just show that to you right now. So here in user logon activity, you can use this report to look at all administrative actions. Whenever your administrator account is logging on successfully, you can take a look at that. If there is a huge number of successes, you know that something probably is not right. The administrator account is probably being compromised or it's being used for the wrong reasons. You get to know that. Also, if there are a lot of failures, so let's go into this particular report, logon failures. If you see that there are a lot of logon failures for your administrator account, again, you get to know that something is probably not right. It could be a case of a person trying to brute force their way in. That could be one scenario, or it could be also a case where, let's say that you have created a administrator honeypot account, and you see even one bad logon into that particular account, you know that something is not right once again. Because why would somebody actually do a logon failure into a honeypot account unless they have malicious reasons? So you get to see all of those things in the logon failures report right here. So that's how you can use this report. Now, like I told you earlier, for all of these reports, you can go several steps deeper. You can actually set up alerts. So let me just show you how you can do that. So just go into the alerts tab and go into new alert profile. And this is where you can actually set up alerts. So here, as you're configuring an alert, you can set thresholds, for example. Let's say there are 10 bad logons for a particular account that you're very, very interested in. Let's say that you've created a honeypot account and you're interested in cases where there are 10 bad logons for that account in just 2 minutes, you can get alerted about it. In this way, you're proactively protecting your most privileged account. So in order to configure an alert, we just come into this page, give an alert name and a description, and then you've got to set the severity. It can be attention, trouble, or critical. It's completely up to us. And then from there, we have to choose the report profiles to which you want to associate this particular alert. In AD Audit Plus, the report contains all the information, and an alert will pick up specific signals from a report before alerting you. So this step is very, very crucial. For a honeypot example, you may be choosing the logon failures report. And then take a look at this right here. You can set up a filter to set up an alert for specific user accounts, administrator, for example, in our case. And then take a look at this, alert actions. How do you want the alert to reach you? Do you want it to reach you through email or SMS or both? You can configure it over here. So that's what you can do in terms of alerting. Then we go to step number 5. Your next action item to protect privileged accounts is you need to harden the security of your domain administrators, schema administrators, enterprise administrators, and other privileged groups in Active Directory. As you might know, these groups are highly sensitive and have numerous privileges. You need to ensure that you follow the principle of least privilege and zero trust across your organization. You need a way to monitor these groups for any changes. For example, if a new user is added to any of these special groups, you need a way to audit that. You need to know things like who added that user, when was that user added into the group, which user was added, and where was that user added. And you need to be able to go back in time and see all of this information for a period of your choice. And not just for these built-in groups, such as domain administrators or schema administrators. There could be other sensitive groups in your organization as well. For example, you could have a finance group in which only finance managers are supposed to be members. What if an attacker were to compromise a user's account and gradually escalate privileges and get added to this finance managers group? You need to know about that. So let's see how group management can help you in AD Audit Plus. So going back into the console here, just go into reports. And one of the categories of reports that you'll see on the left-hand side is group management. The specific report that we are looking for is recently added members to security groups. And now take a look at this report here. Let me look at all the domains so we get more information. Now take a look at this. So in the last 30 days, here are all the users that have been added to specific security groups. Take a look at this. These groups can be either built-in groups such as domain admins, or they can be groups that are created by system administrators such as QA. Or they could also be groups such as finance managers, if that's a group that you have created. That was the example that we went over. So all of these groups are privileged, right? And you've got to know whenever users are added into these groups. You get to know about that right here. And like we saw earlier, in addition to getting all of this information as a report over here, you can also get an alert whenever something wrong takes place by configuring an alert after going into the alerts tab. Now, at this point, I'd like to show you one more report that can make things very, very easy for you and present to you all the information about administrator or privileged user actions. And that is the administrative user actions report. So let me just quickly show that report to you. Just go into account management and you have administrative user actions. This report lists all the actions performed by selected users or technicians on different AD objects, such as users, computers, and groups in the domain. It comprehensively displays actions executed by users in the form of a chart that you can see over here. User management actions like user accounts changed, deleted, disabled, enabled, password set, accounts unlocked. Computer management actions like computer accounts changed, deleted, or enabled. And group management actions performed on distribution and security groups. All of these actions are audited, reported, and highlighted through charts over here. The next thing that you need to do as a best practice in your Active Directory is take proactive actions based on risk. For that, you need to navigate to a very, very particular tab in AD Audit Plus. So we are discussing point number 6 right now. So let's go into analytics, and we are talking about risk assessment. So let's start from the very basics of risk assessment. What do you think a risk assessment actually is? An IT risk assessment is a major preventive measure that actively mitigates the risk of vulnerabilities and threats in your company. The objective of a risk assessment is to identify the existing flaws that could be exploited to threaten the security of the network and the data that resides in it. So take a look at some of the reports on the left-hand side over here. I'll highlight one particular report to you, privileges utilized by user. And let's get some information. Let's look at all the domains. And we're looking at the last 24 hours right now. So this report, the privileges utilized by user report, gives you a list of all the privileges utilized by all the users in your network environment for a period of our choice, in our case, the last 24 hours. This is a complete list using which you can assess the risk in your company. Then you have the privilege escalation first time utilizing a privilege. Let's take a look at that. And let's get some more mock information as well. Take a look at all of this information. So this report gives you the list of users who have used a privilege for the very first time. So these users that you see over here, they may have the privileges to do certain actions. However, they have never used those privileges ever before. But here they are doing just that, doing things that they have never done before. You as an AD administrator need to know about this to proactively secure your environment. So that's about risk assessment. The next thing that I would like to talk to you about today is monitoring anomalies in your environment. That's point number 7. This is where user behavior analytics or UBA comes into play. UBA uses machine learning algorithms to set a baseline for every user in the network environment. To do this, the system learns by itself and establishes something called a normal profile for every user. So a baseline of expected activity is calculated for each and every user. In case the user's actions deviate from the normal range of expected behavior, that's considered an anomaly. The use of UBA protects our Active Directory from new types of attacks. So basically with user behavior analytics, we look for 3 different types of anomalies. The first type of anomaly is what's called a count anomaly. For example, is there a privileged user who's had an unusually high number of file activity for the user profile? The second anomaly is based on time. So here you're asking questions like, are there privileged users with unusual logon activity times? The third anomaly is the new resource access anomaly. Here we look for users who access any resource or utilize privileges for the very first time. So as you probably guessed by now, user behavior analytics does not require an Active Directory administrator to configure any rules or conditions to look for security breaches. The system learns by itself. UBA increases your company's security posture against sophisticated attacks that don't follow any known pattern. So take a look at this report. It's called Unusual Activity Summary by Type. And in this report, you get to see for a period of your choosing, in our case, the last 30 days, all the behavior that's deemed to be unexpected from users. The activity count over here shows the number of anomalous activities. So we've got 10 anomalies based on first-time remote accesses on hosts. We've got 7 anomalies based on first-time processes running on servers for the very first time. And we've got 3 anomalies based on unusual logon activity types for users. And here, what an Active Directory administrator can do is they can just, for example, deep dive into these 3 anomalies by clicking into that and taking a granular look at all of those 3 anomalies. So take a look at this right here. So here we get to see that there is this particular user called Sarath. Their general start time is 9 a.m. and their general end time is 2 a.m. But take a look at this. This user is showing some unusual activity time. They were active between 4 and 5 a.m. and AD Audit Plus is tracking this as an anomaly for us. This message over here makes it really clear to us as to what happened. Logon activity was done by Sarath within 4 to 5 a.m., which deviates from the user's normal logon activity hours, which is 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. Anomaly category, unusual activity, logon time based on user. From here, the Active Directory administrator can go into details and deep dive into what Sarath was really up to. So if this is a cause for concern, they can investigate more and take corrective measures from here. So that's an anomaly about unusual logon times. Let me talk to you about one more report. It's called the New Process on Server report. So let's go into anomalous process activity. And here you've got a new process on server report. Let me just open that for you right here. Take a look at this report. Now with this report, you get to see all the new processes that are running on machines in your network for the very first time. So you can see the server name right here, the computer name, the domain that it's a part of. What is the unusual process that ran on these computers for the very first time? So all of these processes, it seems, ran on this particular server. This could be a very, very business critical server that houses some critical information. And there are all of these strange processes that are running on this server for the very first time. And at what time where these processes actually run, you can get to see that here. So in case any of these processes kind of stick out for the Active Directory administrator, it just kind of, it's a ready reckoner for the administrator. They can take action right then and there. They get to see that malicious process, whatever it may be, and they can do further investigation from here. So why do you think that this report will be really useful? Now, think about what was one of the first things that we discussed today. We spoke about how an attacker gains an initial foothold into the network using a phishing email with a malicious attachment. If an innocent user were to click on this malicious email with an attachment, malware could get downloaded in the backend without the user's knowledge. But with a solution like AD Audit Plus, you can track this as an unusual process through a report like this. And not just that, like we spoke earlier, you can actually go into the alerts tab and you can get alerted whenever an unusual process is actually run for the first time on any critical server. So you can actually set this up as an alert to proactively keep your organization secure and to make sure that your privileged accounts are also kept secure. So that's pretty much it. These were the things that I want to cover in the webinar today. Now, let me just ask you two questions before I summarize everything for you. These two questions will be launched as polls on your screen right now. So you'll see a list of two questions on your screen. Question number one is, how do you know ManageEngine AD Audit Plus? And question number two, do you want our product specialist to assist you with a free evaluation of the solution? Now, obviously, in a 45-minute webinar like this one, there's only so much that I can cover. I've covered things that I felt were important from an Active Directory best practices point of view. But in case you feel that there are other use cases that are critical for your organization, please let us know. And we'll be happy to take you through all of those as well. We'll be able to show you how AD Audit Plus can make sense for your particular environment. But apart from AD Audit Plus, right? I mean, the larger thing that I wanted to kind of drive home today is you've got to make sure that you protect your privileged accounts. That's a larger point that I wanted to make sure. It doesn't matter if you use AD Audit Plus or some other auditing solution. Please do make sure that you do all of these steps. That's the more important thing that I want to kind of drive home today. All right. Thanks a lot for those responses. Let me quickly end this poll. And let's do a summary together right now. So in the last 45 minutes that we spent together, we first understood the importance of securing privileged accounts. We then discussed the different steps of the cyber kill chain and how attackers move from initial reconnaissance to their first compromise, to lateral movement, and finally to a privileged account compromise. Then you saw some tools that attackers can use to perform reconnaissance. Some of these tools were web-based and some tools were built into Kali Linux. Then we went over 7 Active Directory best practices for securing privileged accounts and saw how a solution like AD Audit Plus can help you achieve these best practices. Best practice number 1. It's important that you don't have end users as local administrators. And if you do, make sure that you use labs for managing local administrator passwords. Order the logon successes and failures of your most privileged users, such as domain administrators. In case something seems off, you should get alerted about it right away. You may also wish to create an administrator honeypot to lure attackers away and secure yourself. Also monitor your sensitive groups, including domain admins and schema admins. Proactively look at the risk posed by different activities in your network. And finally, make good use of a user behavior analytics tool to stay on top of any privileged account compromise in your Active Directory. So those were the 7 different things that we saw using AD Audit Plus today. So we are almost at the end of the webinar now. I just need you to help me with some feedback on how the session went today for you. So let me quickly launch another poll. So you'll see a list of 4 questions popping up on your screen right now. So just let us know how you felt about the webinar. And if you can answer these 4 questions for me, that'll be really great. Great. So that brings me to the end of this webinar. Thanks a lot for being a part of this session today. I'll still be online for the next 10 minutes answering all of your questions over chat. If you have any questions once this session is done, that's absolutely fine. Please send them over to me at ram.b@manageengine.com. But to repeat, I'll still be online for the next 10 minutes answering all of your questions over chat. Thank you once again. My name is Ram. You all have a great rest of the day. Thank you all so very much.